The Cold War began in the aftermath of World War II, as the United States and the Soviet Union emerged as global superpowers. Europe was split into two ideological camps. Western Europe embraced capitalist democracies, while Eastern Europe fell under Soviet influence, with countries like Poland and East Germany becoming communist states. In 1946, Winston Churchill famously described this division as the Iron Curtain. The United States adopted a policy of containment to prevent the spread of communism, as outlined in the Truman Doctrine. The Marshall Plan of 1948 provided economic aid to rebuild Europe and counter communist influence. In 1949, NATO was formed, prompting the Soviet Union to establish the Warsaw Pact in 1955. The Cold War was marked by numerous indirect conflicts, with the Korean War being a significant early flashpoint. In 1950, North Korea, backed by the Soviet Union and China, invaded South Korea. The United States led a United Nations coalition to repel the invasion, resulting in a stalemate near the 38th parallel, a division that persists today. The Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962 brought the world to the brink of nuclear war when the Soviet Union placed nuclear missiles in Cuba. After tense negotiations, Soviet leader Khrushchev agreed to remove the missiles in exchange for a U.S. promise not to invade Cuba and a secret deal to remove U.S. missiles from Turkey. The Vietnam War saw the U.S. attempting to prevent communist North Vietnam from overtaking the South, but it ended in 1975 with the fall of Saigon, damaging U.S. prestige. The Soviet invasion of Afghanistan in 1979 further strained resources and morale as the U.S. supported Afghan Mujahideen fighters. The Cold War era saw an intense nuclear arms race, with both superpowers amassing arsenals capable of global destruction. The doctrine of mutually assured destruction, or MAD, deterred direct conflict. The space race was another arena of competition, with the Soviet Union launching Sputnik in 1957 and the United States achieving the historic moon landing in 1969. Efforts to limit the arms buildup led to nuclear treaties such as the Strategic Arms Limitation Talks, or SALT, and the Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, or START. Espionage played a crucial role in the Cold War, with the Central Intelligence Agency, or CIA, and the Soviet KGB engaging in extensive intelligence operations. Defections, surveillance, and covert actions were commonplace. Propaganda was wielded as a powerful tool to demonize the opposing side and assert ideological superiority, shaping public perceptions and fueling the rivalry. The 1970s saw a period of détente, a thaw in Cold War tensions, highlighted by President Nixon's visit to China and arms control agreements. However, the 1980s witnessed renewed tensions under President Reagan, who increased military spending and famously referred to the Soviet Union as the evil empire. This era saw an escalation in the arms race and heightened rhetoric. The Cold War drew to a close with the collapse of the Soviet Union. In 1989, revolutions swept through the Eastern Bloc, toppling communist regimes in countries like Poland, East Germany, and Czechoslovakia. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 became a powerful symbol of the Cold War's end. Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev introduced reforms such as glasnost, meaning openness, and perestroika, meaning restructuring, but these changes spiraled out of control. By 1991, the Soviet Union dissolved, giving rise to 15 independent republics and marking the end of the Cold War.